Yeah, when everybody's finished talking, that's when I'll record.
What is up, guys?
To do this podcast.
What, James? Why did you whack your thighs and click?
Everyone just shut the fuck up.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah. So what up, homies? We're the Peaky podcast. You probably watched our last ones. If you haven't, go check them
Listen
out.
to.
Listen to. Sorry, watch. Either way, you know.
Well, they
just
could
do
have
that.
looked at the picture on YouTube.
Exactly. But basically, we're going to talk about stuff as we normally do. We're going to start with Andrew. Andrew's been to London today, capital of
Today, have
Didn't
I?
go today.
Well, he didn't
Last
go
week.
today.
The other day,
Last
let's
week,
be
James.
honest.
Let's be honest with them. This is last. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, over to you, Ward. How did it go in London?
Well, London was fantastic. I went to see
Full
Scott.
stop.
Yeah, full stop.
Full stop and podcast. Right, tune in next week, guys.
No, go on, Ward.
No, I went down to see Scott
I'm
and
Scott.
his friend Benson, who has
Benson's not
a
here.
superb
He's a
accent.
stalker.
If you ever hear him, you know, James, slightly obsessed, quite creepy, but it's a
Yeah.
great
Don't know what you're
accent.
talking about, mate.
You called him Basin. I sent you a picture saying I was with him, and you spammed me with messages like Benson. Basin.
No, I was just talking about my basin. As in, you wanted to a basin.
About your washing face. Sorry, 1940s James Caine. But I
You
thought
don't
I'd
have to be in
start.
the 1940s to own a basin. I swear, Jesus Christ, I like Scotland. You don't need a briefcase, Joe.
You can own a basin, Andrew.
Can I?
Right, no, sorry, we keep interrupting
Yeah,
Andrew. Carry
you-
on,
you
please.
fucking do.
He's never going to get his story finished.
So, thought first thing I'd talk about was walking down. Where were we walking when we saw Jazzman, Scott?
We'd just gone through Leicester Square.
Leicester Square, yeah, famous place. There's this old man rocking along.
Name dropping places. Geographical location.
Got a
Leicester
cracking.
Square, if you're listening.
Guy's got a cracking moustache. He's playing some bog standard. Was it
Jeffrey Raff.
trombone, trumpet, flute? I don't know what.
No, it was a
Saxophone. That was it.
Trombone.
Trombone. And he was playing the saxophone, playing the standard songs. No one really cares. You know, he's got a few little pennies in. All of a sudden, we walk past a bit later. He's playing fucking Justin Bieber. He's playing Justin Bieber. Sorry, on his saxophone.
What a legend! I bet that sounded wicked.
I've got it
Yeah, so
recorded on Snapchat.
Yeah, we came out of the casino, and the guy was still there, but this time he just busts it out, and then he had a massive crowd around him.
Busts
Everyone
it
was
out.
like,
Bust it out.
He just whacks out his knob. Playing.
It was a
And then he's
So
built the
normal.
crowd up. Everyone's buzzing. And you think, right, that's his big one for the night. Comes out with The Hills by The Weekend, and it's pandemonium down
Did he
there.
get an encore?
He did, and he got quite a bit of money. I believe there was quite a bit put
I
in
mean, he
there.
bloody would if he's playing the Weekend and
Playing
Justin
the fucking
Bieber.
Weekend
Jesus
on the
bloody
trumpet, and
Lord.
it sounded pretty good actually.
saxophone, Andrew.
Got my trumpets and my saxophones messed up, and it was really, really good. Compared to opposite him, earlier on in the day, was some dancers.
Oh my god.
I'm
They
gonna
were just
say
playing loud music, and there was like 6 of them, all dressed identical with like
the
with,
caps.
caps on. Yeah, and then this guy came out to do a headstand, but he was obviously on concrete, so it was hurting his head, and you could see that. And then he didn't
Comes
really
on with blood
balance it.
dripping down
Yeah.
over his face.
Let's
Look
go
at
fucking
this!
mental.
Yeah, but then they just start dancing to music. It's like, well, that's great. I could do that.
They were thoroughly
Yeah,
average
okay.
dancers. They were like break dancers, but they didn't do any of like the
There was no breaking.
spins or anything. They literally just did like that. It's hard to describe the bog standard little quick step thing they do, where they go kind of like forward.
It's like
Backward,
forward,
then to
back,
the other
right,
way.
back, left, back, right, back.
And they were
There's
just
like arms going.
they were so shit. It was unbelievable. But you know,
So if you're listening, Leicester Square down.
yeah, you saw your fucking
Sort
sat
it
down.
out.
And then if Jazzman's listening, or if anyone knows Jazzman, outside the Grosvenor Casino, Leicester Square,
Big
right
up.
into us. We'd love to get you on the show, interview you.
Live performance,
So,
the lot.
next thing I noticed in London, you know, we all live in Rugby, bog standard town. However,
And you keep saying bog standard.
I don't know. It's my new favourite little phrase.
His new measurement.
It's bog standard.
But bog makes me think of swamp, and then it makes me think of Shrek, and it's a weird link.
This is my swamp.
Get out of my swamp. You know, walking past every restaurant is unbelievably posh and completely different. We walk past one, they have trees in the middle of the table, not like, you know, in a little pot, small little tree growing, literally an almost fully grown tree through each dinner table, just in the middle. They've cut a hole in the dinner table and decided to grow a tree through it.
To cram the tree in, like, yep. I mean,
At what point? I mean, let's be honest. If you're
Should
on
we
like,
give him some dining space, sir? No, we need a bigger tree.
if you're on, you know, like a date and you're sat opposite someone, there's just a tree in the way.
That's no move.
leaves falling down, you get an apple on the back of your head.
Have you had an accident at work?
Yeah. Where was this tree? It was in the middle of a freaking table. But
Was it a bog standard table, Andrew?
it was a bog standard table. If I had to give it a size, bog standard.
Bog standard tree.
But it's just
bog standard
unbelievably posh. I mean,
Thanks
to have
for
to
tuning
stand
into our
out.
Bog Standard podcast.
Fantastic.
Oh dear.
Well,
Oh,
is there anything else that happened, Andrew? I know you obviously. Well, I know you
Jazz
Anything
man.
else added to your Bog Standard day?
Jazz man
basically.
and a tree and a table.
I'm saying this because I remember seeing a picture. Obviously, none of the audience will have seen this picture, but Scott won a bit of money. Whilst out there.
Scott did come away with a bit of
Scott,
cash.
yeah, he did.
Well, that's only because every time we go to the casino, I always lose. But this time we played blackjack, and I went home with 110. So I was pleased.
From what?
But
Did you
it
say
was-
40?
40 I took in, yeah, because that's what's in my
decent.
bet
£7
account.
profit.
Jeez.
You've more than doubled your money there, son.
I mean, Ward could have gone home with some money, but there was a few times he thought he was Billy Big Bollocks, and he put like £25 down, and he'd lose it. Like,
I was going big. Fucking dealer screwed me
ended
over.
up going
Being
home.
fully prepared to go home.
That's why you just need to
But there
go
was-
bog standard. The bog standard.
Bog standard bet. That's what I needed. None of this fancy shit. Bog standard.
But Andrew, you know that woman as well. Like, she was sat on the same table as me, so everyone has their own like little slot in front of them. But you can bet on other slots if you want for some reason. So I'm just using the square in front of me to put my money in. This woman's like 3 chairs down, putting hers in there. Whenever I put a bet on, she put 1 chip above my box and 1 chip below my box. And I
Basically,
kinda looked like,
because Scott was winning,
Scott stood up,
she just
nutted
used
her.
him for wins.
walked out, sat back down, straightened my tie like.
Right,
let's
we
keep
can get on
going.
with a fighting game now, can't we? Do
Yeah,
you
so
laugh?
it's because she realised I was winning. Whenever I put chips down on mine, she would put them in the same place. So obviously not adding to my bet, but just putting them in the same slot on the table. It's basically kind of like, I don't know, playing Monopoly and then swapping to someone else's chair halfway through because they've been playing quite well. And then whenever I took my bet off, she'd then go, oh no, take mine off quick. So then she'd get hers taken off there. And I was like, what are you doing?
Do you know what you should have
woman?
done? You should have kept playing until she put a massive bet on, and then when you get to like 20, just go, yeah, I'll have another one, please. And just ruined it for her.
I should have pulled out, really, shouldn't I? Just as she was putting hers there.
Pull out
Pull
game
out.
strong.
Blackjack pull-out game strong.
Bog standard pull out game.
So anyway, Ward, where else did I take you on our way?
Wow, it's not
Wasn't-
where you took us, what we did when we got to those locations. So where did we go? The Shard, which was
Oh well, we went.
Very.
Yeah, we took quite the route, didn't we?
Yeah.
We went from my uni through Leicester Square, Trafalgar Square, London Eye, Big Ben. Then we walked along the Thames for miles.
Tower
To the
Bridge,
Shard.
Tower London.
Oh,
Jeez, you went on like a bit of a trip, didn't
Mate,
you?
So
yeah.
the old experience,
We
it sounds
walked.
like.
We must have walked like 10 miles. We walked for a very long time. But it was funny because each time we were like, nah, that next location's a bit too far away, but we were just casually walking anyway. And then after like 10 minutes, we'd nearly be there. So it was kind of like, yeah, may as well keep going to it now. And then we ended up getting to the Shard and we were like, yeah, let's go to the top. Let's go to the top. Realised it was shut because of some event. So then we were trying to figure out other ways to go nearly all the way up to the top, but didn't involve going in through the front door and pretending we were guests.
What we needed was a fancy suit to walk in and go, oh, hello, Timothy, and then just walk past whatever the posh person was called.
The answer is to get a suit and find Tim.
Yeah. Any people work here called Tim?
Pretend you're legit.
Get him for me.
And go straight up like they do in the movies. I can't see why that's not a foolproof plan.
Yeah, exactly. If it wasn't real, they wouldn't put it in movies.
For all the exquisite places you took me, we ended up walking past Tower London, then just kept walking and walking and walking. It was, the whole hustle and bustle of London. Then it got quieter.
I know where this is.
Then it got quieter. And then it was kind of like
bit dodgy as well.
The grime centre of London. I thought, we're gonna walk past and see fucking Ice Cube and Dr. Dre come back on a lowrider. It was not the nicest place in London.
It got to the point where Andrew was just casually like, Scott, do you know where we're going? And then it eventually got to the point where it's like, Scott, can you get your phone out and see where we are, please?
Yeah, Scott's there like, yeah, I know where we're going. Yeah, we're
well,
fine.
I had the right idea.
Fine.
We were walking in the right... I knew roughly where we were, and if we kept walking in one direction, we would get there. You don't know you're beautiful. Just before anyone else makes that reference. So it was just funny how we'd gone through so many posh areas, like the places with the tables with the trees in them, and then I ended up taking Andrew to a very, very dodgy part of town.
I was lucky
to make it home. There was some awesome clubs there. There was like a ping pong table and bowling club. I believe we found a strip club as well. Which
yes, we did.
Horrendous music, so loud you could hear it from.
Yeah, it was all blacked out windows, but just the classic stripper music
going on inside.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
They didn't even black out the windows. It's just all the muck, just up and down, just caked everything.
Delightful. Wow.
Yeah. Well, no, he's not finished, James.
He's not James.
I'm still.
Wait till he's finished, James.
I'm just saying again. I'm just going to say, obviously, just so it's not just a constant, him describing everything, the single thing.
I feel like I'm in my English exam.
I'm walking,
Describe the colours.
Walking down a street. Sort of like the more the important thing is like, sort of. Did you just stay there for a day, and why did you sort of go there in the first place?
Scott asked me, do I want to go to London? Well, I said yes.
Well, why didn't you ask me and Connor if we wanted to go to London?
Because you're
fun fact, I was in London.
I believe there was a train straight from to Stansted
No,
Airport.
you weren't in London that day.
I was in London that evening. I went to see Code and Canberra at the O2 Forum in
It
Kensington.
wasn't that day.
Get out of here.
It was that day.
Andrew,
2nd
that
of
is
February.
why. Andrew, I actually asked you, are you on the same train as Connor for a reason? I didn't know Connor doesn't just go on trains for fun.
You'd be a train spotter.
Like Connor was on the train 2 after you.
I wasn't on any trains.
Well,
I was, but I was
big
on a
hole
train
in your
back to
story there,
Rugby from
James.
Leicester to
So
then
you were
drive
on a
to
train.
London. Yeah, but not anywhere in London. I didn't get a train to or from London.
Oh. Well,
But yeah, I was also in London. So, I don't care that I wasn't invited because I wouldn't have been able to go anyway.
Right, so why are you making such a
Started
big
on
deal of it?
But yeah.
So there's James's question round finished.
Yeah, let me interrupt to bring up a personal issue that I've got with everyone in the podcast.
So yeah, Ward, you got any more notes written down from the Hobbit, the unexpected journey?
Well, once we got to every tourist location, I personally couldn't resist but say Alu Akbar under my breath. I know we had that random guy. I think it was near the Shard. Just goes
bridge. Yeah.
Ah! At the top of his voice, and everyone just
some guy screams it
absolutely
to make
shat
his friend
themselves.
jump. But then, because me and Andrew had been doing it all day long, when we then heard a ah, we were like, ah, what? And it was just some guy laughing because he made his friend jump, and we sat there like right mugs. I felt very silly.
And one of the final points, massive M and M.
Massive M&M.
Massive M and M shop in
You mean
in
M&M World?
M&M World, yes.
Got it
yes.
at the end.
Just to clarify, we're on about M&M's the chocolate and peanut and food thing, not M&M the rapper.
Yeah, there's not a
Well, they do
not a
come in
rapper.
world.
They do come in a wrapper.
They do. Rappers will be found in there. But, you know, Scott takes me in there for some reason, purely just to show me the for me to smell it. Would you like to explain, Scott?
No. I know
You
what.
need to smell the
I know
shop.
what. No, I know what Scott means. The M&M shop.
It does
smells
smell
delightful.
very strange.
I think
Yeah,
it smells delightful.
they've got like a little factory downstairs that you can see people making it through glass. It's like a weird
Filled with
zoo.
Chinese
It's
children.
like, look at these.
That's where the
people
Asian
making
tourist
M&Ms.
ends up.
But then, yeah, they must just pump that room's air into the shop because you walk through the door and it's kind of like the biggest M&M smell
Smash you
ever.
in the face.
But in different parts of the shop, sometimes it's not really M&M anymore, and you're kind of wondering what you're breathing in.
So yeah, M&M shop. What could you possibly hate about it? One man, apparently. Scott, would you like to tell this part, as you were the one who witnessed it?
Yeah, this was after walking back from seeing those dreadful dancers, wasn't it? We walked back in front of the shop, and I just see this guy. I think he was dressed as a girl, and he
That's
just
called a
walked
cross-dresser.
past and just stuck 2 fingers up at M&M World. And it wasn't like a quick thing. He maintained this. He kept his hands in the air. He kept the 2 fingers up the entire length of the side of the shop, just like pressing his fingers against
Fuck
the
you,
window.
peanut
just
M&M.
Let the
like-
authorities
shit.
know.
Committed to his cause.
Exactly,
I
he
like
just
it.
did it all the way along, and I was baffled. I couldn't really understand why he was so angry. Yeah,
You don't know
and
his story. You don't know his
You
life.
don't know me. Where have I been?
I think I said to Andrew at the time, it was like maybe his parents were killed by M&Ms when he was younger, so he's just
Jesus
held that
Christ,
grudge
Scott.
ever since. You took my mom! You took my dad! I'm gonna get you, M&M World!
My mama
He's
choked
not
on one of
murdering
y'all.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Killed my pa.
Just a redneck in the middle of London.
My mama choked on one of y'all back in '86. She don't live no more.
She don't live no more.
She don't laugh no more.
And another thing I didn't pick up on, I've been in London for like 2 years now, and I hadn't realised this certain thing until me and Andrew had gone on our hike. It's the shop Pret-a-Manger, or however you pronounce it.
Where it's like
French
£7 for a
like that.
sandwich.
Yeah, like where it's all like fancy sandwiches and soups and fancy crisps and stuff that I don't like. Those shops are everywhere. Like, you know, you understand you get McDonald's everywhere, especially in London. But honestly, Pret was everywhere. It must have been at one point, me and Andrew would see a Pret every 40 seconds. A new shop every 40 seconds at one point.
Jesus.
It was insane.
It was
would be, we
crazy.
would go down a new street and there'd be another one. And obviously, because some buildings are quite cramped.
James is finding something funny.
I heard a
No, I'm
balloon
just finding
being
your story. I'm
squeezed.
just finding your story. I'm just finding your story funny. It's just like-
He's on loop as well. But yes, there are so many of these shops, kind of like they were. He's doing it again. I could just hear this like balloon squeak. What is it? What is he doing, James? You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Can I continue with the fact these shops were everywhere?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So yeah, these shops were everywhere. What is going on? James, have we caught you at a bad time? Oh, Connor's caught it now. What? I'm hearing pictures take, print screens or whatever.
No,
What is going on? Are you two in the same room as each other and you're tickling? Right, okay. So, the reason James is giggling is because he's found a picture of some strawberries, and the caption says, "When she says she wants strawberries for Valentine's Day," and one of the strawberries is not a strawberry.
One of these things is not like the others.
Yeah, it is the end of a gentleman's sausage, hidden amongst them. So that's why James couldn't contain himself. Unfortunately, the listeners will not be able to get this because we will not post this on the Facebook wall. But
I don't even know if this will make the fucking edit, to be fair. I'm so sorry. I just literally found it scrolling through thingy. But yeah, no. Where do we leave off? Is Scott talking?
Well,
New street, new Pret.
Pret was everywhere. Yeah, just everywhere. That was the main point, really. It was just that I didn't realise how big that business was. I'd seen a few shops, and I know
Well,
it's
it was
always
pretty
full when
empty. Every
people go
shop
in
though
there.
as well was like never anyone actually in it. They just
Right, the
have
problem
lots
is
of
with
shops.
the problem is with Pret as well. Pret a Manger. They're everywhere in London, especially, and they're like
Everybody prepare for a Pret rant.
yeah, everybody Pret wank.
Cheeky Pret wank. See how long you can
Pret
sit
a
there
ma-
before you get kicked out.
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank record. Basically, like, I've been in there before. I've been to the one at Bicester Village, and they're so posh, like you said. Like, you want to go in there. Like, my dad's quite a sort of like the type of person who's quite plain. Like, you know, he likes his fucking ham sandwich, and like he just,
that is me through and through.
yeah,
Plain
like he
ham
likes
sandwich
just
and
well,
really
like
sorry
he's just like
crisps.
anybody. He's like most of the general public, you know, just like a ham sandwich.
He's a human. He's human.
He's
Yeah,
a human
okay.
being, god damn it.
And then basically, you go into Pret a Manger, and
Monjay.
it's Manger, not Monjay. I'll
It's
flipping
fucking Pret a Manger.
I'll Monjay you in a minute.
Well, technically, it's probably like Pret or Manger.
Yeah,
But we're
Pret
just
or
doing the
Manger.
English version.
But yeah, I don't care.
Pret.
Pret costs too much
Connor,
for a
don't
fucking
Google
sandwich.
it. Damn it.
That's what it is. Right, so in Pret costs too much for a fucking sandwich. It's like you go in and you look at the nicely like laid out sandwiches, and you don't have ham and cheese. You have cured ham for 28 days with mature cheddar and mango chutney. And oh my god, just why?
James is getting erect.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
I'm not getting.
Oh my god.
If anything, my penis is going back inside me.
Sorry for those listening while eating dinner.
It's retracting. It's actually it's stressful thinking about the fact that why would you ruin a sandwich? Like they have tuna sandwiches there, and it's like, oh sick tuna sandwich, and they put like spinach in it. I'm like, I'm not Popeye, mate. Like
Because to
piss
eat
off with your
spinach, you have to be
spinach.
Popeye.
Yeah.
Those are the rules.
Popeye confirmed. Oh my God.
Hang on, Popeye has eye in it.
The all-seeing eye.
I think we've done too much Illuminati.
You can never have too much
Never
Illuminati.
to-
The world
That's
is
what
Illuminati.
the Illuminati want you to think. They make you think that there's too much, and then there's not enough, and then they take over. The system is a lie.
Okay.
I'd like
Right,
to confirm
James.
that we are not endorsed by the Illuminati.
You know?
Well, anyway.
I want to get back to Andrew. I want to see if he's got any more fascinating tales
Yeah, I
from
want to
London.
see. I want to see. You seem like it was a good trip. I'd like to do that. To be fair, I've thought about it before. You know, just going on a nice little trip to London.
What?
Scott, you can expect him on Tuesday.
Go to tourist locations and shout Allahu Akbar.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't want to go there like right now, just because of all the shit that goes on. I wouldn't even feel safe living there.
Why? I'd say
I
it
just-
was worse before Christmas.
no,
'cause
because
that's when
I-
there was like a lot of threats and like near my uni, because my uni's on Oxford Street, well Oxford Circus, where all the shops are. There was like 8 police cars every hour going past. It was mental, it was terrifying.
Ah,
Like last
right.
time I went to London, like drove. It happened to be that there was, there was like a two. I at least saw 2 bomb squad vehicles, and I was just like, for 5 minutes. I was like,
Well, I
I'm like-
suppose it's kind of good seeing them at the same time, because at least you know they're there.
Yeah,
There's
so,
this-
so, so
I
when the
heard
bomb
that there
goes
was
off.
this drill, and she said there was no way.
Well, no, because wasn't it the whole thing that the day of the 7/7 bombings, they were doing a drill anyway,
I don't know, Connor. I don't carry these
and then
facts.
something
No,
just happened
this
to happen.
isn't something I tend to remember.
I'm not asking you to remember. I'm just bringing up a little potential fact. Could be wrong, could be right. Well, excuse me for trying to further the conversation.
You are
Yeah,
excused.
you're excused. Get
Don't
out of
do
the
it again.
podcast.
I'll just sit here quietly, guys. You run with this podcast.
But yeah,
Okay,
right,
so
okay
we'll go
then.
back to Andrew after
Final
such a long...
final story of the thing. Heading back on the tube. Tube's fine. Say goodbye to Scott at the station. Give him a hug.
Give him a kiss
Oh,
and a
yeah,
cuddle.
not really.
Scott's like, for fuck's sake, don't tell him about that.
Wipe away my tears.
Casablanca.
Turn around just as I go past the turnstile. Just give him one last look.
One last look.
Blow him a kiss. He catches
I can't
it.
lift the head from my hands because I'm so sad. Can't look up.
Benson's there just consoling Scott.
Benson's come back like, I heard Andrew was going. Is James here yet?
But yeah,
I don't know, man.
get on the train home. It's quite busy, so I have to go on a seat opposite someone. I can't get just 2 seats on my own. So go on the seat opposite someone.
God forbid you're allowed 2 seats for yourself.
I know, it was
I
an
could have
absolute
spread out
disgrace.
like I wanted to.
We leave the station, get to the first stop. Guy gets on. There was a guy sat opposite me, and a guy.
You're currently just telling everyone how a train journey works.
Yeah,
The
but
train leaves. It makes a couple
Yeah.
of stops along the way.
a couple of people around, but no one sat next to me. Everyone had their own space next to their seat. A bit of like Leicester just beating Liverpool that night, so Jamie Vardy having a party was brought up a couple of times. Then everyone went silent, and then someone came and got on and sat right next to me and was really up close against me, and just didn't say anything. So I was just
Andrew
like,
was hoping for a little bit of communication before things went
If
to
you
the
could
next
rub
level.
up against me, at least
Yeah.
open your mouth.
at least woo me first.
Yeah, at least support me before we take things to the next level.
But I didn't know what to do. I kind of sat there for like 10 minutes and was like, I've got another 50 minutes of this. Can I really put up with this? It's like, how do I get out of this? So I was like, excuse me, mate, just...
And then that guy's like, excuse me, mate, is there a problem? You're talking out loud. I'm hearing it.
Yeah, how do I move away from this weirdo sat next to me? So I have to lie to a stranger and be like, excuse me, mate, just sniffing to the loo. I don't know why I told him that. I could have just got up and left.
Why did you tell him
I
that?
don't know.
That's as if you're inviting him.
It's one of the things...
Just to keep you informed, sir.
I don't really know. I don't do...
He sits next to you, right up against you. You feel really weird. You sit
feel
there in
like you wanna-
silence for like 10 minutes while you think about how to get away. You then break the ice by saying, I'm just snipping to the toilet.
I'm just
So then-
slipping into something more comfortable.
That looks like you're dropping hints and you want him to join. Don't tell me you then never went back.
I then never went back.
Oh, that poor guy.
Plus,
he was expecting things to go to the next
I
level.
walked to the other side of the train and I didn't see a toilet there, so I'm assuming the toilet must have been the other way.
Wait, so you were actually going to go to the toilet?
No,
That
I
wasn't
was
just to
going
get-
to. I was going to get
He needed to
away.
at least make it look plausible. Get the right walk in the right direction, which he didn't.
So I think I went, excuse me, just going to the toilet, walks in the completely wrong direction, doesn't come back for 50 minutes. I may have broken his heart, but it's extremely awkward. But it's one of those things, you say it and then you're like, why on earth did I just tell him that? And that pretty much is London summed up.
Well, while you,
Home safe and sound, yeah?
Yeah, home safe
you-
and sound,
you
not
talked
molested.
Home
about
safe
your
and sound.
interesting train journey. Reminds me of one where I got the train to London back from rugby at like 11 o'clock. So I think I'd just gone to watch Spectre on the day it came out. And the trains are always quite empty on these late ones. And there was this guy who was like 2 carriages down from me, but when it's empty you can see right the way down the seat, so you can see almost all the way down the train.
Scott's just staring through the doors.
Just stares
No,
around.
you know
Carriages
where you just
down.
no, but you look around. The reason I noticed was because I'm just looking round and I look down and I see this little head just like popping out between the seats, looking straight at me. So then I move my head back in, like that was weird. And then like a few minutes later, I kind of look back. You know how if someone's staring at you, you look back to see if they're still being weird, and then you're
Look
like,
back,
"Ugh."
quick,
So not only then, right? Not only is he still there looking at me, a few moments later, I hear the door open because the gentleman has now entered my carriage. So I'm like, okay, and he like walks past, makes eye contact with me the whole time. So just looking at me. I'm not looking at him, he's just staring at me. Then walks past. He goes up and down my carriage like 6 times over the next 10 minutes, just looking at me. Goes back in, and then when the inspector comes down, I was like, in the next carriage there's this guy who's acting like really shifty, so I don't know if he's looking for the inspector, maybe he hasn't got a ticket or anything. And the guy's like, okay mate, I'll go check him out. So he goes to check him out, and then the ticket inspector comes back to me and he's like, yeah, is he that guy? And he describes him. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, he's a bit weird, isn't he? He kept smiling at me and looking at me, and I was like, yeah, that's what he keeps doing to me. And he was like, okay, we'll stay away from him. So I'm like, yes, I will.
Yes, sir.
All those lessons I learnt at school, stranger danger, stay away from him. So, sat there.
Stranger danger, unless a person pulls up in a car to talk to you.
Okay, we'll ignore that story of me nearly getting taken by the government man for another time. But yeah, so this guy then comes back, but he then sits in my carriage opposite me.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, so opposite me, and again he's like smiling, looking at me. He occasionally goes on the phone speaking in a different language, so I don't know what's going on. And then again puts the phone down, looks away, looks at me, staring at me, gets up, goes in between these, back to the other carriage and stuff. And it was just the weirdest thing ever. And I love how it sounds like me and Andrew were in similar positions where, well, I was completely freaked out because this guy was staring at me and sitting opposite me and following me around, whereas Andrew's just sat next to some normal guy. And then Andrew's first reaction is, you know what, maybe this guy wants to come to the toilet with me.
It wasn't an invite.
Well, that's what it sounded like. Why would you
Sounded
just
like a
announce
serious
it?
proposition.
Yeah, I'm just nipping to the toilet. It's just
Wink, wink.
Walks the opposite way.
something like that.
James, haven't heard from you for a while. It's about time for your news story, isn't it?
Yes, it is, baby. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
I thought that was going to go into a film then.
Yeah.
You've set the standard high. We're expecting a banger of a news story.
Naked man storms into cafe, lays on table, and demands to be killed.
And he did not disappoint. Please tell us more, James.
He lays face up on a table, sits on the
Face
counter.
up, right, so bits are exposed.
Sits on the counter, and at one point, and one terrifying point, he follows the worker into a back room as she tries to get away from him.
Good lord. Just going to the toilet.
The waitress should have simply gone, sorry mate, that's not on the menu.
Sorry mate, chipolatas aren't on the menu. He is reported to have shouted, "Kill me please, hurry, shoot in the head." Push the panic
What, it's
button.
just assuming someone has a gun?
Push
Where
the
is
panic
this?
Push the panic button. I think it's probably in America. Actually, no, to be fair, it's a Daily Mirror again, so it doesn't actually say where it is.
Wow.
It's actually, but it says, "Call the Special Forces squad in here, fast." The worker tells him, "I already pushed the alarm button, but just get off the counter, please." I've just cleaned it, Jesus! The man, clearly in a state of distress, replies, "I won't, I'm just going to sit here." He starts wiping things off the counter and tries to break into the cupboard where the woman is shouting at him. When the police officers arrive, they're immediately pushing the man onto the floor where he is...
There's a woman shouting at him in a cupboard.
So she's locked herself in a cupboard.
Yeah.
How do you lock yourself inside a
Yeah,
cupboard?
and then
but-
why are you
basically
shouting
cupboards don't
outside the
have-
cupboard?
It took place in Saratov, in Russia.
Wow, well, that
Okay.
makes a
He was
cupboard
taken
Well,
to
story.
that doesn't
Those
explain
No.
crazy
why
Russians.
that doesn't explain why there's
Yeah.
an unlock thing inside the cupboard.
He was
How did she lock herself in there?
I have no idea, but he was taken to a secure psychiatric unit for treatment, and I'm glad he was, to be fair.
Mind you, that's the Russian term, isn't it? He was taken to secure treatment. Don't worry, he's just been chucked in a canal somewhere.
It's just a thing, like, what? like.
What do you do if you're the worker? Because you're not gonna go up and grab him, are you? I mean...
If you were in Andrew, and God, he said it then, and a naked man jumps on your conveyor belt, starts sliding down it.
You look for the barcode.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I need to scan this.
Andrew would just be annoyed that he's messing with his tilt speed.
Yeah, he would have slowed my tilt speed down a little bit.
Gonna rugby tackle him.
You need to get off, mate. You're ended up in
Furious.
a trolley.
I would have said, sorry, sir, no packing here, and kicked him out. Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know what you do in that situation.
That was one of the stories, and I mean that is quite a shocking story.
Are we getting treated to 2 this week?
Yes, just because that one was quite a short one. Obviously, that's not. This is the one that I picked beforehand.
It was short in length.
It was short in length, and I mean I did that last week though. I didn't know. I sort of had the dark, twisted pony one, and then had the nice pony one. But this one's sort of a bit different. A gunman. This is the title. Gunman tries to rob Subway restaurant, but only manages to grab a few bags of crisps.
No.
Well, I mean, if he gets away with the crime, then all in all, it's not a bad day out.
Yeah.
He's got a load of crisps.
Free lunch.
Mate, I don't care. I got some fucking Doritos. It says the gunman fails. He had a gun. He was a gunman.
No way.
Gunman.
You're telling me the gunman had a gun?
This gunman fails to get away with any cash as he tries to hold up Subway and runs off with just a quick snack.
Give me all your money. Cheese and toasted.
You are cookie and crisp. You have some card. But despite his attempts to jump over the counter and threaten the staff, they refused to hand over what he wanted.
What G?
Right, okay,
Absolute bad men.
No, not G. No, not cheese, Connor.
If someone
No, I said
points a
G.
gun at me, I am cooking him his sandwich and I am giving it to him. No questions asked. I'm not gonna risk my life for a foot-long sandwich.
But after getting,
Connor would.
after trying to get into the,
Don't take Subway seriously, mate.
after trying to get into the back of the shop and failing, he decides his time is up and he makes his getaway.
He couldn't even get over the counter.
He was quite a big lad. All this thief manages to get away with is a number of bags of crisp he grabs on his way out. So he literally just strolls out.
Didn't even go into the fridge and get himself a drink.
It's kind of like he failed and he's annoyed and he's like, fine then, I'll go. And he grabs a crisp and he's like, but I'm taking these.
Do we have any idea where this was, James?
Subway, Connor.
This was in
It's
Washington.
got to be America again. Yeah.
Washington. Oh right, well the
No
Top
offence
Gun
to
thing
American
makes
listeners.
sense.
But yeah, so that ends my new segment for today. Thank you very much.
I don't think we're going to see him on the BBC
I am 90%
anytime
sure
soon.
that is the theme tune for the Crystal Maze. That is definitely that was definitely the Crystal Maze theme tune when it finishes, James.
That wasn't.
You're just ripping off a new show or film each week.
Scott, I'm not. Scott!
Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm glad that's been
Scott!
clarified. Uh-huh.
I'm not.
Okay, James, I believe you.
Stop. Right, I know you want to get big in front of these viewers, yeah? Just...
Showing off in front of your mates.
Yeah,
Like
don't show
Billy
mates.
Big Bollocks.
Being Timmy 2 Christmases with your fucking dino shit. Just shut the fuck up and carry on. Okay, so then next segment is the, you know what the section is? It's the accent challenge, so just progress from there, yeah, mate? Cheers, mate. Mate!
Okay,
Matey.
For anyone that didn't hear James's threatening whispers, the next thing we've decided to do this week is going to be an accent challenge.
Cue YouTube ukulele!
What?
I certainly hope YouTube ukulele comes in there, otherwise...
I hope it doesn't. It's terrible.
I'm sorry for the listeners who are listening to this sentence right now.
It's a-
You are fully aware the ukulele did not play.
It's the
because I
worst
am not
thing on
putting that in.
YouTube.
I'm not putting it in just purely because you shouted YouTube ukulele and then it's going to sound hilarious that nothing happens. So sorry listeners, we'll maybe put a YouTube ukulele video in the description if you want to listen to it on the side. Don't think that's a ukulele.
That's in every makeup tutorial video. That's what it sounds like in a nutshell. Anyway, yeah, so this was a little idea to spruce up things in this podcast. But yeah, accent challenge. We've heard that Ward isn't very good at doing accents. I've heard some of Scott's. I know he's pretty decent at them. Probably the best out of all of us, I'm going to say. Connor's pretty good at some.
James, stop. Should we just make a podcast about being
Jesus Christ. Sorry, Scott. I'm
Look at head as his ass, Jesus.
I know I'm probably giving you a massive throbbing erection right now. But,
Maybe not.
and yeah, so what I've done is I've gone on some website which I used at secondary school, which is like a random word picker game. It's like a slot machine. So you put in all the words and it will generate. I've put like loads of accents as the words, and it will then generate out a random accent. So we'll do that. So if we want to take it in turns, so if we start with
So we start with Scott, set the
Start with
standard
Scott.
high so that
Start
we
with
can
Scott.
gradually get worse and worse.
yeah, so it doesn't just look like we're bollocks. And I'll just you'll hear well, you won't hear it, but I'm just about to do it now. Fruit machine, go, bang. And we have Spanish. Okay, so we've got Spanish.
What?
You don't have to actually speak Spanish, right?
I would
Okay.
not have any idea how to do a Spanish one.
But you have to
Oof.
read out of the list. I don't know if obviously it won't be on screen now, but we have made basically anybody that's done the accent challenge on YouTube before. The words that we have to pronounce are aunt, roof, root, theatre, iron, salmon, caramel, fire,
gonna
water,
read through
New
them all.
Orleans, pecan.
I think they get the picture.
Both again, blah de blah. Yeah, basically they do it a lot on YouTube, but they're the
Thank you
standard.
for cutting that short, Andrew. We would have been here
It
a
was
while.
quite the bloody list.
James is basically doing his accent challenge in English.
But yeah, so that's what we have to do. So yeah, go Scott.
Spanish.
Do you have to read out
Wow.
every single one?
Roof, root, theatre, iron, salmon,
What the fuck?
caramel,
Jeff.
fire, water, New Orleans,
Diego.
pecan, both, again, probably, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, pajamas, coat,
Some of these aren't bad, to be
naturally,
fair.
aluminium, gift,
Aluminium.
cracker jack, knob, envelope, GPOY.
That was the best thing I've ever done.
Oh, that was good.
Scott,
We
you
were
actually started-
expecting to be an absolute train wreck. It's turned out
That
quite
was
well.
fucking fantastic.
This is the point of the show
Scott,
where
of
we
course,
lose
good at
all of our
Spanish because that's how he
non-English
kept himself
listeners.
distracted in Spain 2006 after his parents broke the news that they would no longer be together.
Well,
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 that was
listeners.
nice.
He just decided to immerse himself in the culture.
I'm gonna go for Colin next.
Go for me
Colin.
next.
Go for
Well,
Colin
as,
next.
God, I
as I
hope this
wipe
one I
away
can
the
actually do.
tears,
Okay,
I wipe away the
right.
tears remembering that holiday where my family was split in two, Connor.
Oh, okay, well, this is. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Please, God.
We've got Jamaican.
We've got Jamaican.
Sorry
Look-
again to all the people who were about to be offended.
Jamaican. Fuck. Basically, any words that aren't Jamaican, bacon, or, you know, just something stereotypical, I just don't think I'm going to be able to do. So this is
Mayonnaise.
where things get really bad. So I got
Try it like
I'm Jamaican, I'm
aunt.
bacon, and I got my aunt, and she lives under my roof. In Jamaica, we got a lot of root. God, this is bad.
Theatre.
Jamaica. Yeah, I'm in my
Ward
theatre.
coming in strong there.
I thought that was a good one.
Salmon. Caramel. Caramel, I've gone Welsh there. Jesus.
I was just about to say he's got to be Welsh there,
It's
isn't
gone a bit Welsh. Jesus. I don't know what bloody accents you've put in this this little roulette machine, but it's not ones we've ever done before in our lives.
That's why it's hard.
That's why it's hard.
Anything's
I don't know I'll be able to make it through the list.
Just do to Alabama then.
You can do pecan, both, again, probably.
Pecan, both, again, probably,
Right, go, Jack.
Alabama.
Keep going, you're on a roll now. I wanna
Lawyer,
hear mayonnaise.
coupon, mayonnaise. Pajamas, coat, naturally, aluminium, give. Umlaut, cracker jack, doorknob, envelope, G-boy.
Remember, we said not to do the G-Boy one.
Well, we're going to keep
Well,
doing
me
it
and Scott have both
because
done it, so maybe we just don't play by your rules.
I don't
James.
even know what G-poi
Oh,
is.
it's my turn next, boys! And I get...
English.
got
English.
Scottish. I've got
He's
bloody
fixed it.
Scottish.
He's got Scottish.
I've got Scottish. Got me bloody auntie, me roof, me root, me theatre, me iron, me salmon, me caramel.
Is anyone else feeling threatened?
I really am.
You just shouting.
New Orleans, me pecan, me.
I've got me bluff.
Aluminium, tumbler, cracker jack, doorknob, envelope, and GPOY.
Jipoy.
Oi.
So I sounded like a very threatening Scotsman there. I'm sorry if anybody was slightly threatened there. But yeah, so Andrew, it's down to you, boy.
Boy.
Fantastic.
This is going to be brilliant.
Oh, this is fantastic.
You basically just picked out the worst accent you could possibly think
No,
of.
I haven't. It's literally, it came onto it. It's
Random generator.
it's Geordie.
Oh god. I literally know one sentence in Geordie, and that's the. I was banging
I
some
love how
Use that as
he's
your prompt.
Geordie. Like, can you speak Spanish? Yeah, I know, like one sentence. Can you speak Geordie? Yeah, like one sentence.
Well, yeah. All you need is you just need your trigger words, and then you hopefully you're good to go.
And hopefully you're banging some bird.
Me on the roof. En route to the theatre. I sound like a jab.
This is good. Keep going.
Iron.
He's got to think about this.
Yeah,
That's
this
right,
is,
whisper it
this
to
is-
yourself
This
first.
is tough one. Whisper it to myself. Excuse me, just got to
Hear
go
it
to
in
the
your normal
toilet.
voice, so that makes it a lot easier to do it in the not normal voice, Andrew. I like it.
I was ironing some salmon, and then I got some caramel and put it on fire, and then put it in the water. In New Orleans. In Beacon.
That says both, Andrew.
I know it says both. Yeah, it's got to a big word.
Error 404. Andrew not found.
And then both again. Probably Alabama. I'm going more Jamaican. And I call my lawyer with a coupon of mayonnaise. This is pajamas.
Pajamas. See, it is difficult, Wood.
It's very difficult.
Well, come on, I'm sitting in my pajamas.
You sound Jamaican,
Banging
Connor.
some bird. Go.
I was caught naturally with aluminium in a GIF, and I put on Tumblr with a crackerjack. And then I knocked on the doorknob with an envelope.
Knocked on the doorknob with an envelope. Oh my god.
I mean, no one ever said he had to put it in sentences, but if it helps the
It
lad.
helps.
Yeah, I mean, bonus points for linking everything
Trying to
together.
tell a story. I'm a storyteller.
Story makers.
This whole
That's what
podcast has
you
been
get.
story time with Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job I didn't have to do the first part in Geordie. We could have still been here in the first.
We were what? We walked past the Pret a Manger.
We walked past the Pret and there was another
It's
Pret
difficult
around
to
the
not go
corner.
Jamaican.
I think it's hard.
Okay, Scott, enough about your personal issues.
How many erection references is that today? Well, it's probably still less than the total of times James has talked about his genitals going into a warm soaked bath in episode 1.
Make sure to go back and check it out if you haven't already.
Yeah, of course.
Great
on
plug.
SoundCloud. And we're
you
trying
guess
to get them on iTunes as well, but I'm going to need Connor and James's help with that because
That's
I
fine.
do not understand any of the terminology. So hopefully very soon it will be on iTunes as well. Obviously everyone is on YouTube, so you've got that to fall back on.
That's our main hub.
It's our main hub.
Our main hub. Andrew, say main hub.
Main hub. Our bog standard
Okay.
hub.
Books.
Say in a Geordie accent.
Bog standard hub.
Well, I think that concludes today.
Yes.
It's a nice place to end, isn't it? We've
We've
had
had
a
a nice-
triumph in something we thought you wouldn't succeed at
A
at
nice
all.
bog standard episode.
We hope everyone absolutely enjoys the accent challenge. I mean, if you do like it, and
If you, let us know in the comments down below if you want any more challenges.
yeah, Because I mean, there is a few more.
Yeah, we want to get more interaction. So send us an email that's on the Facebook page, or send a comment on any of the
Be lovely.
YouTube,
formats
Facebook.
that we're on.
We're on Twitter as well now, actually, at the Peaky Podcast. So let us know. We'll read your questions and we'll do whatever you want us to. We'll do whatever you want us to
Just
do.
whore yourself out.
If you're listening here on YouTube, make sure to check out our other videos, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Goodbye.
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 Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye from me and everyone else.
James, say bye.
Fuck you.